Hi, Tiff Talkers. Hello. So I'm going to try to do this as well as I can. I'm going live on both platforms at the same time. I've never done that before, so bear with me while I get both streaming at the same time. This should be interesting. Tiff Talkers, if you're seeing me, if you're seeing me and you want to throw a question into the chat, if you're getting the notifications, I know I haven't gone live on YouTube in a long time. For some reason, my connection's taking forever over here on IG. I don't know why. That isn't usually the case. So I'm going to give it a moment for everybody to get in, get watching, because if you see the title, this segment is about rebranding. What I've learned so far, how did I get here? What's my purpose? Why rebranding? I'm still TiffTalkTV, but what content can you expect moving forward? And how am I going to address the past? Because it's come up. I've been on people's shows and other people's platforms. And one moment, y'all, so I can get both streaming. I don't want to have to repeat myself to both platforms. That was kind of the reason I'm doing this. So give me just a moment. And again, I'll do a proper introduction. Hi, everybody on YouTube. Thank you for coming. I will get started. Like I said, I'm streaming on both platforms at the same time, or I'm trying to. Because I just want everybody to be on the same page. I'll leave this video up probably for a few weeks or maybe a while. I don't know how long I'll leave it up, but I just want everybody to have the same information across my platforms. If you have questions, I encourage you to ask. If you start noticing content kind of changing or being more consistent and having, more clarity and there being like more purpose and behind everything. So I know some of you have been with me for years and hopefully this still makes sense to you. Like I'm not really doing anything drastic, just to be clear. So like I said, I'm still trying to get us started on IG. Let's see if we can get started. Give me just a moment. Okay, perfect. So I switched my connection there and we're in. So give me just a moment. Like I said, I'm going to start on both platforms. So hello, I see you in YouTube. Hi, Tiff Talkers here on Instagram. I'm streaming on both platforms at the same time. I'm answering questions, so please throw them in the chat on YouTube if you're there. If you're in IG, please do there. So let me introduce why. Of course, sometimes I have a typo, like a big old doofus. Let me try to fix the pin, okay? Everybody just bear with me on IG. I just noticed there's a typo on IG. I don't think that typo is on, I don't think that typo is over on YouTube. So bear with me. If you have a question about, Tiff, what do you mean, rebranding? What are you doing? I'm going to get into it, but please just shove it in the chat because if I don't answer a question through what I'm going to say, and you have a different question, let me know. That's why we're doing this. So the rebranding is definitely in line with what I'm already doing. So welcome, Tiff Talkers. I'm Tiffany Ramm. I'm a licensed therapist. I have been clinically licensed since 2013. But I just transferred my private independent practice license and got that started in May. I passed the exam for California for independent practice, not supervised practice, back in March, and I've been licensed independently here in California since May. Okay, so I have been life coaching and coaching for many, many years. I have been doing social work since 2005. So I have a lot of experience in social service and helping profession and many other things. So if you're looking at this and you go, rebranding, what are you talking about? I've always been in the helping profession, but I've also always been in entertainment. And so when I moved to Los Angeles, I wasn't really clear on, I didn't have a brand strategy for my IG. I started IG many years ago as just an accountability strategy to my workout regimen, right? Which if you've been with me forever, I've worked out 4 to 6 days a week for the past 8 years or so since I started my Instagram. Okay. So I've been consistent about nutrition and how working out has saved me in mental health or helps me manage my own wellness, right? I was a very anxious teen. And one of the reasons I went into mental health was I wanted to figure out, the best ways to treat anxiety, depression, build resilience for people, stuff like that. And specifically, hi there, I see everybody. If you have a question, let me know. And communities of color, I know that we don't always have enough of us in our own, communities, mental health professionals. And so, to feel comfortable, build rapport, it helps to have someone who looks like you. So a lot of the reasons why I went into mental health, I have, my own family experiences with drug and alcohol abuse, an incarcerated brother, and just knowing that my family has a hormonal imbalance, all those things. And so there's a lot of reasons that led me to mental health, and being a mental health professional. But also, I've always loved entertainment. I've been a performer since I was born. Since I got out the womb, I have been singing, talking, doing whatever. Mind you, I can't sing, so don't ask me that question, because no, I can't. Sometimes I do it here on social media for funsies, but I don't get it twisted. I don't think I can sing. So, but just to put that in perspective, I've done acting, theater, modeling. I was an on-camera model for 6 years for Home Shopping. I've done, commercial. I've done modeling for Old Navy, Levi's. I've done so much. I've had my own public access talk show. I've done, and so that's my background. I have done TV hosting. I have done podcast hosting. I have done many short films. I've acted, done improv. So the point is, I've always been dabbling in entertainment and social service, and I just didn't really know where they married. I've always been very aware that the end goal, do I say it here? I don't know. Well, anyways, the end goal is a nationally syndicated television show, right? I want a platform to help people, to exemplify stories, to share my own experience. I have so many testimonies, but like 2 or 3 that are critical to people being able to relate to me, and me being able to let you know, don't give up, you can do this, right? If I can do it, with my background, you can do it, I promise. Okay? If I can win a pageant, and listen, we didn't know what we was doing in pageantry, okay? Coming from my background, if I can succeed at things, and 99% of the time I'm the first person in my family who has ever even had the idea to do the things that I've done, y'all can do it, okay? So the rebranding is not anything new to me. All right. But some of the stuff that's coming out might be like, wait, where's that coming from? What? Huh? So the clarity, I have been licensed. Okay. I've been licensed. I've been a mental health practitioner this whole time I've been in LA. I just didn't advertise that necessarily, because I was trying to figure out, what am I doing? Am I going back to social service full time and I'm going to quit entertainment? No. I grew this platform for a reason. I just didn't really know why, right? I didn't know why I had grown these platforms. I didn't know, I knew since I was young that I was called to use my voice and my gifts to change lives. And for a long time, like other people, I suffered from imposter syndrome. When will I know I'm ready? Is that crazy to think I want to go big? Intimidating myself from my own dream. Because listen, I've known since I was this big that I was going to be big. Whatever big means, I knew that I was going to be more than anything or anybody my family ever knew, right? No one's been famous in my family. No one's been really wealthy, at least not on my maternal side, okay? Now, there's some exemplary people who've accomplished some very notable things on my paternal side, but I just met those folks, But on my maternal side, I'm the first one to do all those big things, right? The first one, I think only the third person in my whole maternal side to have a bachelor's degree. I'm the only person still to have a master's degree. My grandma still praises me about that. So I was like, what do I do with all this? Where is this going? And recently, like clockwork, I'm in a program, and it is, I promise you when I finish, but I'm going into my next program right after that. Just the coaching things, the coaching prompts just helped me get in alignment. It was timing. It was just, I was ready, and here we are. And listen, I finally was clear. You all, I've been in entertainment, coaching entertainers, providing mental health to entertainers and entrepreneurs, goal setters, pageant girls, models, actors, athletes for years now. Even before I had an official title doing it, I've been doing this work for a very long time. Okay, so when it became clear, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing, and we're gonna do it big, and we're gonna do it so much. It's going to be big. Okay. And the downloads have been here. I've had templates for books. I've had templates for programs. I have stuff all started. I was just like, where are the tools? Whatever I got the tools. I got the program. It's coming. So the clarity came. The rebranding is this. TiffTalkTV, how you see me on all platforms, going to be in alignment. This is what we about. I'm always about mental, physical, and sexual health. Always. That's the undertone. But ultimately, what I push, what my content's going to be bouty, what we bout here is mental health and success, period. Right? I'm here as a success coach. Even if you don't want traditional therapy, even that's not your jive, you ain't down with that. Okay, cool. I got you. I'm a success coach. What does that mean? I'm here to help you succeed without losing your mind. I'm here to help everybody succeed without burning out before you get there or being like those celebrities who lose their once they make it to the top. I'm here to teach you the 4 pillars to success resilience. Okay? So that if you have a long-term goal, athletes, you want to get to the NBA. You're in high school. How do I go from, college ball to pro? What do you need? More than mindset. I'm the first, probably one of the few mental health professionals and success coaches who will tell you it's more than mindset. I promise you, period. Okay. Mindset's part of it, duh. But 4 pillars you need that make success resilience, gives you the ability to be resilient. When you fall down, get back up. Because you're not going, if you have a long-term goal, even teachers, if you try to go from your bachelor's to master's to your PhD, that's a long-term goal. You need resilience. Things going to happen in that time. That's a lot of time, a lot of schooling, a lot of life events, a lot of just things happening, financial struggles, barriers, whatever. All that stuff's going to happen. What do you need? These 4 pillars in balance. All 4. What happens, especially entertainers, entrepreneurs, you got 2 or 3 and you, all right. But if that one's out of whack, that one is what's going to jack up the whole system and make you vulnerable to that 1 or 2 pitfalls. So I'm here, the branded. I was like, what is my gift? 1, my mouth. 2, my brain. These 2 in conjunction. 3, what is my ultimate gift? My empathy. My ability to relate to people, my ability to communicate with you, but more importantly, the ability to make you feel comfortable to tell me the information I need to break down how we going to do this. I give you the tools and the roadmap of how to make yourself the best you can be, period. These 4 areas, the 4 pillars of success, resilience, is what's going to make you be able to achieve your goal, whatever it is, without losing your mind or burning out before you get there, okay? And help you maintain it once you get there, okay? So I'm seeing you. I promise I'm gonna get to you real over here on YouTube, and I think I saw a comment over here on Instagram. So I'm gonna get to them. I swear, I promise everybody. But just so everybody's aware, like it's the same Tiff, okay? Fitness is really important to me. I'm going to keep Fitness Friday until I figure out I'm going to have different content areas. You're going to start seeing different themes for the different days. Also, the products coming September, the only products you're going to see me endorse, 1, are paid. No more free, nothing for free. No more free things. Okay. Everything you will see, I'm paid to, endorse or whatever. But also, no, it's in line with my brand. It's about mental, physical, sexual health. Even if it's a skin product, how is this healthy? How is this okay? Why should I do this? I'm not going to put my name or put a product on my page anymore after September if it's not in line with me and I haven't tested it first and I stand by it. The integrity of this page, the integrity of my brand. I used to just be like, oh, I'm going to sample it. You gave it to me for free. Let me check it out. No. Come September, no, if it comes on this page, I was paid to post that, and only because I believe in it, and it somehow falls under those things: success, mental health, physical health, sexual health, period. Okay. Like if you see something like I might do some essential oils, if I get an essential oil, brand deal or something, or like the people on YouTube can see my diffuser. I won't, I'll endorse that maybe if I get a brand deal for it. Otherwise, I'll talk about those things generically, okay? But yes, I'm a licensed therapist. So if you really are like, what's that abouty? What do I specialize in? I can cover many things, but what do I specialize in case you're like, what are you really good at, Tiff? Anxiety, depression, treatment of trauma, sex and sexuality, and life transitions. Those are my key areas. Where do I really specialize? Adolescents and teens and adults. Like if you from age 12 to 35, well, let's do this. Adolescence is really 12 to 25, okay? Like that's a group that most people are afraid of, that I get you, right? I have the patience with you. I empathize with how your brain works at that age and stage in development, how your neuroscience is just clicking and checking up there. Okay, I get it. So if you have a teen or a young person, you're younger and you're like, ain't nobody gonna get me, nobody listens, I got you. But specifically also, most of y'all, my audience is really 25 to 55. We adulting in these streets, right? Like real grown people with grown people with, trials and tribulations. What do you why do you think I know these coping skills? What strategies do you think I'm going to give you? I'm going to give you working people skills. I'm not going to give you like the skills sometimes therapists give you, just think you in some bubble where it's like, you got all day to practice this. No, I got 3 to 5 minutes, Miss Tiffany, okay, to implement this new skill you try to give me. Don't give me a whole bunch of homework. It's going to take me 3 hours. No, give me a worksheet that takes me 6 minutes. Got it. I got you. Okay. So I'm going to address the comments I see so far, and then I'm going to go into the next part of my rebranding, which is, I'm sure y'all have noticed me different places, right? Guesting on different podcasts and speaking to different people. And some of these are big people, right? And I'm so blessed for these people to find me, come in collaboration with me, right? But what I notice is when I sometimes go check the comments, because I had an experience in entertainment, you know what I'm saying? And it's still out there. And trolls still be trolling. So what I'm going to address is, how do we move past the past, right? And how do I plan to address the past? And what have I learned? So I'm going to acknowledge my past for a moment. For those of you who have followed me, maybe before even the Zoe Williams show, before I even came to LA, before I came to Sacramento, because I've been on IG a long time now, But I'm going to address that. I'm going to address the misinformation real quick about my ex-husband briefly, because listen, and it's part of my testimony, but I don't be giving him no glory. Okay. But it is a big part of my testimony now in regards to how do we succeed without losing our minds. Listen, I went through a lot in that divorce. Okay. Right. And someone posted on one of the comments like, oh, you over here now? We see you, Tiff, you're resilient. Facts. Right. So let me address that after I address these comments here on YouTube. Okay. Sorry, YouTube, I got to move you over a little bit. All right. So I can read your comments. Real Deal Financial says, have you worked on branding for e-commerce or digital products in your niche, or being a therapist? So great question. Have I in the past for e-commerce and digital products? No. Is that what I'm working on now, or start working on the second week of September? Yes. So that will be coming. I have someone I'm working on with that, and I'm very excited. Like I said, the clarity that came with doing this program I'm doing right now is just it's really great. So I'm really happy. You'll see the branding. The branding is, I am a therapist, and that I am a success coach. Here's the deal. I will not name drop, right? So unless I get an explicit okay to say I've worked with a certain celebrity or actor or, athlete or entrepreneur, I am not name dropping, because some of those clients really are therapy clients, and I am very strict about my therapy clients, okay, and the confidentiality and the ethics around like really valuing and nurturing and protecting the therapeutic model and the therapeutic environment. Life coaching is a little different, but again, I would still need consent from them explicitly in writing to use a specific name. So I will not be name dropping. Many of you probably want to know and be like, who's in your, portfolio? Just know it's by referral, y'all. So you got here somewhere. All right. You got here from clicking on a link somewhere, or you follow somebody else and you saw me somewhere. So, yes. So e-commerce products are coming, courses are coming, online, group coaching will be coming, because my therapy rate will be We'll be raising significantly after 2020 in 2022. Right now, I'm pretty affordable still, but that's not how we roll into 2022. And I'm just saying that because I've kept it pretty modest for this year, because I'm in like a professional year transition. And I had some clients who wanted to come back from when I was just doing coaching to now like transitioning into therapy. And so, you know, making that affordable for them, but that like, they know the price increase starts, you know, January 1, 2022, and this is the new price for Miss Tiffany. So, but yeah, so I do coaching and therapy, and that products and stuff will be coming to make things more affordable. Like if you don't want to do traditional therapy, or you're like coaching, what's that? Maybe you want to do it in a group setting first before you do one-on-one. Like, is it worth your investment? Whatever, those things are coming. So I don't really want to speak specifically on it because I'm not really a talk about it before it happens kind of person. I've done that in the past, and it's like, yeah, kind of hold you accountable. But then when things don't go the way you plan, you're just really explaining yourself when you really don't need to as a business person. So just know things are coming. I'm really excited for that. Pate, I see you. Send your request again in a minute after I address some of these other things. Okay, so I see you and I want to go live with you, but I'm going to wait till I say a few more things first. Y'all, hold on just one moment. I just don't want, I'm like, where? Sorry. I didn't even know where that phone was. And then the fact that it went off. Okay. So yeah, so re-requests are also, address your request in a moment. And also when I go live on Instagram, I'll just have to repeat your questions that you ask, I think, because I don't have my mic set up for YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. I should have set up my mic, but this is impromptu. So they might not be able to hear you. The other question that you had, real deal, is congratulations in winning model for Facebook ads. Wait, congratulations. Oh, not congratulations. Can I read? Sorry, y'all. I'm on two platforms at one time. Consultations is a winning model for Facebook ads to use direct marketing for leads. Plus it can be a high ticket service. No, it is. And I will be. Listen, like I said, I've seen the corporate world. I have friends in the corporate speaking thing. And that's really what I was called to as a kid. I shared a testimony with friends and family like last week on Facebook Live that I've known since I was in like 10th grade that I wanted to be like a corporate circuit public speaker, like, you know, schools, educators, corporations, stuff like that. Because I had asked the one that I saw, like, hey, how do you do this? And I think he didn't like know what I mean. Like he gave me some generic answer, but I was like, no, really, sir. This is the thing I'm supposed to do. Like how I do this, you know? Like, so finally I found the resources to really break into that. Now that I've built a platform with people who trust me, that has integrity. So thank you for wishing me the best, and for that tidbit. So yeah, I am working with a coach for myself. Y'all, athletes don't go pro without coaches, and they don't go pro without, you know, personal trainers, right? So why a coach? I would encourage you to get me as your coach because I know things you don't know, right? So I am investing the money for a coach to teach me things I don't know, right? But in regards to the past, let me address that. I have a whole hour and a half long story about, you know, my side of things that have happened here in LA, but there's still trolls out there. So two things that people need to understand in case you see a troll making a negative comment, or in case someone tags you to go back. If you search Tiffany Ramm, you're going to find some interesting things that look pretty bad, right? They look bad. And some people will say, Tiff, it's got to be true because you never clapped back. Listen, one, I'm not the clap backer. I don't, like, that's just not who I am, okay? Like, also, if you know anything about social media, these people are posting that stuff because they want me to engage. Whether it's negative or not, I was instructed by my social media manager, well, like coach, not my manager. I manage my own social media, to leave it. Negative or positive, leave everything. It all counts as engagement. So all of it is, I'm going to hold because sorry, y'all got paused for a second there on IG, but all engagement counts. IG and YouTube do not care if it's a troll or a regular person, if it's a good or bad comment, all that stuff counts. So I was like, I guess I'm gonna leave it all there. But what I'm also not gonna do is engage the trolls, engage the negative narrative, because that's increasing your engagement. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to increase the engagement of my trolls, but I don't need to address it. So if you Google my name, you'll find tons of good things, because I've done tons of good things. I founded a 501c3 nonprofit in Minnesota. I used to be the director of Miss Black Minnesota USA Scholarship Pageant. Like, I've done so many things. I was Miss Black Pan-African 2007. Like, listen, y'all, I've been out here doing these things a long, long time. All right. So, but if you Google me, you will find videos that are edited. Keep in mind, they've all been manipulated, all of them, to reiterate an experience on the Zoe Williams show when it was at Dash Radio. I don't like to give shout outs to Zoe Williams, but if y'all want to go find the video, I am being transparent. I don't want to give him traffic, but there's remake videos of a phone call of my ex-husband calling into the show and him just losing his mind, spitting a whole bunch of lies. Now, what people have said and what they choose to do is be like, oh my gosh, she was silent. Oh my God, she's been lying. See what he said? Listen, if you listen to the call, it's a hot mess. He's talking about, I maxed out unlimited credit cards, and I maxed them out. Well, that doesn't even make sense, y'all. How do you max out an unlimited credit card? Side note, none of those credit cards he had in his name were unlimited, one. Two, you maxed them out, because I only had access to 2 of the 7 he had at the time. And that's part of the reason we were getting divorced. Financial infidelity. I have IRS documentation, divorce paperwork. I have receipts. Why have I never addressed this publicly? This specifically is because, listen, for what? I had to fill out the paperwork. He defaulted on the divorce. And then he came back after paying the alimony and then took me to court again and sued me after our divorce just to be a dill hole. And things have now since reversed, okay? The financial abuse continues, all right? So even though I have a great testimony, I have escaped the nonsense to a point, I'm still connected to my abuser. You know? So the narrative that that specific audience chose to go with was they just didn't want to believe me. They didn't want to believe that I was good-hearted, and they didn't want to believe financial abuse was a real thing. They didn't want to believe that my ex is not some kind of ball player who was like tricking me off. No, he was a regular Joe. You know, no knock to regular Joes, but I mean, he was not making 6 figures at any point while we were together. So they just had created this narrative in their head of what they thought was going on. They didn't want to believe me. And that's what they spun on social media 2 times, right? Because hate is clickbait, okay? So if you go Google me and you find negative stuff, that's because those people chose to edit it that way to emphasize a narrative that they wanted to emphasize. Is that the truth? No. Is that the reason I've never clapped back? Absolutely. Also, I'm not trying to fuel my ex-husband's, my abuser, his narrative, right? So that just gives him more attention, and then God knows what he'll do with it. Oh, Lord. So, right? So if you Google me, you'll find some weird stuff. But what's more interesting is since then, yes, I have succeeded. I've continued, and I always was pursuing casually or, pretty hard, my entertainment goals. So that being said, you have seen me on things like an interview with Kev on Stage. You have seen me on things like Damn It Ain't You Scary with to hear more and Patrick Cloud. You have seen me on things like More to the Story with Farron Moore and To Hear More. You have seen me on big things. I have a big interview coming up, and I'm so excited, DJ Symphony, to do your interview. I don't know how you found me, but I'm glad you did. And I look forward to our interview because I have survived through a lot of things. I am a coach, and I am going to take great pride in coaching as many people as I can through success resilience, how to succeed without losing your mind, because I'm living proof that you can live through all sorts of things. People dragging your name in media, right? Dragging your name, spinning this narrative that, I'm trying to, sorry, hold on. So I'm trying to call me on WhatsApp. One more moment. So people trying to spin negative narratives about you or whatever, and I don't have time to clap back. Also, like I said, if you understand how the internet works, how monetization works, many of these people are just trying to elicit a response to me for their own clickbait, which is something that I do not encourage, which is why I haven't in the years really responded into in regards to Zoe Williams' situation. He continues to repost old episodes with me in it, and I'm just like, whatever. I've asked for that to discontinue, and it hasn't. So it is what it is, and we move on. So yeah, so I left that show. Honestly, if you go watch the video, it's still up. I explained in great detail why I left, because my boyfriend at the time died. I needed some time to grieve, and I started a new job. The new job conflicted with the schedule, and so it didn't work out for me to come back. I explained it in great detail. It's an hour and a half story time if you're into that, on my YouTube. So go check out TiffTalkTV YouTube. But what you're going to start seeing is images are going to start changing. Videos on YouTube are about to go away. A lot of the older ones, again, getting in line with my brand, bringing you content that's meaningful and in line with my brand. And so how I plan to address the past is just be transparent. It's the past. I would just really encourage any of the trolls to not waste your breath. You know what I mean? Or be ready, because listen, if you're trolling on my page, again, it's engagement. So if you want to go, boo, let's go. And in not petty way, not like an evil petty way, but just, hey, I'm trying to drive up this engagement, friends. Let's do this. We monetize, okay? So, okay, if you have questions about the past, cool. Ask me questions. But nothing I've done in Los Angeles has been malicious. Someone promised me a show, they didn't give it to me, so I asked someone above them. They said no, so I moved on, and I went and got a radio show at another studio. I had my show at Accelerated Radio for 6 months, and I was very happy with that experience. So getting pushed out of that just moved me on to my own things, and pushing my brand for myself. So trolls are gonna be trolls, but yeah, if you see negative stuff, that's the only reason I haven't really gone out of my way to address it, because why fuel the troll? I don't know, unless it's on my page. I'm not going to engage the troll on other people's pages, but I'll engage the troll on my page. I maybe if they were really bad, I maybe would engage on my friends' pages, because that drives them engagement, but nothing really crazy has come up on, or not crazy, nothing really negative or severe has come up on any of those platforms. So in regards to addressing questions about my ex, I don't address my ex individually, but my testimony is about, surviving financial abuse. I've also survived many, many other life experiences, and I'm still here, still standing strong. And what I want to do is teach you all how to do it too. How did Tiff Talk survive all that? Stay in LA, didn't go home. How did this girl do it? These 4 pillars of success, resilience. And so that's what I'm really happy about. That's very in line with everything that I'm about. I want to empower you all to succeed at whatever it is that you're trying to do, specifically entrepreneurs and entertainers, because your goals are very long-term, and you've got to hang in there. Okay. You've got to hang in there. So if you have any questions on YouTube, please pop them in there. I'm trying to look if I can see my comment that I wrote for myself on YouTube, because I know there was something else I was going to address: the current branding, the past, and then what to expect maybe, or how I did it. But yeah, I just wanted to say you're going to see me different places now, and it's really in this capacity, right? Yeah, I'm a beautiful woman. I like to do these things for my pastime, whatever. But if that's in alignment with the actual brand, then you'll see it on social media. If it's not in line with the brand, you're going to stop seeing some things you're used to seeing. But yes, so let me see if any questions are coming on YouTube. I really got to use my time wisely. And you're still there. So cool. YouTube, like I said, I'll try to repeat the question before I answer it from Instagram. Hi, how are you?
What up, girl? No, I'm really proud of you. This is an information you're providing about, kind of monetizing your brand and making it official and make it a premium brand. That's really smart. I think you've been giving a lot of free content away for a long time. But it was good, right? You build up your brand, you build up people to know you, you show yourself in different facets. So now it is time to monetize it. I think it's great. I think if you even had a subscription platform where you had sort of your consistent people that wanted to join, I would definitely join, and then have a revenue coming in consistently, right, that you can count on. And then obviously you have your a la carte stuff that comes in when need be. But I think it's a great model, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And I think a lot of the negative stuff you talk about, to be honest with you, the world we live in, I don't think if you stop bringing it up, people wouldn't even know.
Oh, you'd be surprised. Trolls have wild amounts of memory. It's so I'll be looking at the comment like, you remember that? I don't remember that. But like I said, I'm transparent. So like, this is really about that branding, just to address it. Like, how should you expect me to address it in the future is what you're saying. Like, this is the only time I'm going to talk about it. Right. Unless you are trolling me and it's on my page, then I might go back and forth with you for the engagement points, but then I'm gonna hide it. Like, I'll engage with you and then hide it. I don't have to delete it, but I can hide it. Right. But some of it is part of my testimony. Right. And so you kind of just have to anticipate that the haters do come, trolls are there. It's just part of the environment. So, but I do appreciate the flowers and that. Yeah. So eventually what can be expected is like a membership will be available for people who like go through the coaching. Like I said, there is individual coaching will always be available, but obviously on a much more exclusive, on a lot more selective, exclusive like access, right? So like coaching and group coaching will make it more accessible for more people.
Yeah, the brand. Yeah. And I think you hosting an event, obviously as people, the second wave of COVID is coming. I think things are going to even become more digital. I think even hosting events or hosting connections would be great because you have like a bubbly personality. I think you bring people together. So, look, I don't know if that's a target that you're going for, but I think hosting would be phenomenal for you, like with different products and being sort of a brand ambassador.
Right.
I think you would do really good there too.
Thank you. Yes. And that's the thing. It will be like, when I can, it will be Black owned businesses, right? So if it's a health brand and it's Black owned, that's going to take priority over like, a competitor that maybe isn't Black owned. But yeah, and everything's going to be in alignment with my brand, which is like, it has to be around like wellness or mental wellness or physical wellness. And yeah, like it has to be in alignment with that. Cause that's what's important to me. Like everything I kind of do is in order to keep me well, because I'm a healer. My job is to help you be your best you. And most of that's through giving you coping strategies and techniques, and then obviously helping you heal. One of the conversations I'll be having coming up soon in one of my conversations is about, do you need to heal your trauma? What is succeeding more important than healing your trauma? Right. And a lot of people think, yes, like, you know what, I'll worry about that later. The issue is a lot of people who have these long-term goals, later is really a long time from now. And that unresolved trauma is actually what's going to hold you down along the way and probably be that trigger that makes you break down. Right.
Yeah,
so,
but society, we're taught to forgive and forget. We're not really told to look in the mirror. The hardest person to look in the mirror is yourself.
Right. Well, and that's what I unteach. Like a good portion of my coaching is we got to unlearn first the bad habits before I even implement the new habit. Right. So that forgive and forget, never. I tell people that I will not. I'll forgive you, but I'm going to remember in case this does happen again. Now I know that's a habit and that's in your character. And then I have to subscribe to if I'm going to continue to allow that habit to happen. Right. Like if you cheat on me once and we're in a monogamous relationship, it's different if we're not. But if the agreement is we're monogamous and you cheat, I'll forgive you once and move on. But if it happens again, now I'm like, wait.
It's a pattern.
This is a pattern. I believe people can change, but you have to want to change. So am I going to stay here and like sign up for that process of change and believe you're going to change? Or do I just tap out now because you've showed me your pattern? Right. And a lot of people that's why they get mad. A lot of abusers and narcissists will use that against you. Like, well, forgive and forget, like you using my past against me. Well, your past also is an indicator of your behavior. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, and that's the balance as a practitioner that we have those, because people do have the capacity to change. It's human nature. So it's like, that's when being in balance and healing your trauma allows you to be in touch with your intuition and actually start using healthy discernment. I tell people, like, right now it's really trendy, you know, to talk about like divine femininity, you know, and like being a, you know, spiritually based person. You can't be in tune with your divine femininity if you have untreated trauma.
That's true.
Because you're not tapping into your intuition, you're tapping into your trauma. You're coming from a place of, you know, being like hypersensitive, you know, and so you can't be tapped into your divine femininity if you have untreated trauma. So that's where I tell people, one of the first things I tell entrepreneurs and entertainers is you have to heal that trauma to get where you're going. You have to make time and space for that, or it will hold you back.
Or be honest with who you are and know what your faults are. I mean, I think that's made me a better husband. Like knowing, like, yo, I know if I put myself in this environment, I'm gonna fuck up. Like I don't to be honest, I cannot trust myself in this environment. So I have to remove myself from this environment for me to be the version of the married self that I am. Because if I put myself in there, I know I'm too weak to do it. And I think sometimes people think they're stronger than what they are. Sometimes a minute that you're weak and removing yourself is showing strength, because it's saying, look, I can't overcome this by myself. Right. You know, like as I've gotten older, I've become more honest with what my pros and my cons are, and like what those impacts of those cons are going to have. So,
well, what you speak of is one of the 4 pillars, right? Which is boundaries. Yeah, which is boundaries. So one of the 4 pillars is boundaries. And when people think of boundaries, they typically think of like, oh, my relationship to other people, or, you know, that. But part of boundaries is self-awareness, and it is time management, right? And it's like knowing the difference between being busy and productive. I talk to people about that all the time. Like, you know, entertainers think they being so busy. They'll be like, oh, I'm so busy, but were you productive? Like, what did you actually do today? Did you do an action step today, or was you just running frivolous errands? You know, like, and so part of boundaries is that self-awareness. Well, if you know you go to the after party and drink too much and you have sex with whoever you pick up, well, then you need to check that behavior. Okay, then don't go to the after party. Go to the calm kickback where it's just you and the close homies. Right? So self-awareness is a huge part of it, whereas you have to be honest with yourself. And that's my policy in therapy. And I teach people this about medical doctors too, is my diagnosis of you is dependent on your self-reporting to me your symptoms. This only actually works if you're honest with me about what's going on, because otherwise the diagnosis I give you is invalid because you didn't give me the proper information, right? The skills I'm giving you, like the steps I'm giving you, the tasks I'm giving you, what we're building is on a lie. So then you can't fault me as a practitioner, like, oh, my therapy didn't work. No, you didn't tell the truth.
And it's so hard now because so many people live on lies. And it's funny, people that will know you in real life will lie on social media and expect you to join into the lie. Like I have a friend that says he lives in a house. He lives in an apartment walk-up. Like, I know where you live, dog. It's like, why? Like, no, but it's for the gram, though. So, like, play along with it. Like, dude, I'm just not going to be involved. I'm not going to hate on you. I'm not going to tell nobody it's a lie. But you that crazy where you're lying to people that know you.
Yeah, that's a whole nother problem. Yes. And so I don't subscribe to that. Like, yeah, I'm going to start providing better content. So you're going to start seeing different, you know, decors, and you're going to see different stuff. That's an aesthetic appeal. But at no point am I being like, this is my house, this is my kitchen. No, if you imply that, okay, that's your deal. Like, you don't understand people just take pictures places, right? When I buy my house, oh, you'll know I'm buying my house, right? Like, I'm gonna let people know because I'm gonna be excited. Like, yeah, your girl saved 50 G's cash down payment for this thing. Listen, you know, been working with such and such realtor, you know what I mean? Like, I'm only gonna use 1 or 2 realtors I know in LA. They're both Black. And I actually know them, and I'm happy for their glow up, right? So I already know who my realtor is going to be. I already know what my goal is. I already know my target. I can't believe my target is my target. I'm like, oh, look at me. Okay. But I never in my life thought my first house would be this price tag. What? Like my grandma won't believe me when I tell her, you know, she'll be like, we doing what in this family? I'll be like, right, grandma? A social worker. Because that's what my family used to tell me. Oh, you want to get into social work? Because everybody knew. They're like, couldn't you be a doctor, Tiff? You're supposed to be, maybe you're like, be a lawyer, like, like they knew like I was different, right? I've been loud and flamboyant since I was a kid. You know, they used to make me read scriptures at church when I was 5 years old. In a white church. Right. So like people have known I was different, but when you're growing up, especially being like the only, you know, Black kid in a mainly white community, you start to get the undertone that difference is bad. I finally just embraced like, wait a goddamn second. This is a gift, like a real gift. Like not everybody can stand in front of a crowd of 1,000 people, not be afraid.
Right.
Like that's the second biggest fear of all people is public speaking. I'm like, what? Give me the mic. Hi, people.
I love doing that. Yeah, that's why I'm so successful at work. Like engaging, being personal. That's not hard for me. Yeah, some people it's like the biggest challenge in the world, but it's not hard for me. But I'm so glad that you have tried a lot of things.
Right.
Now become centered. Right. Okay, this is what's working. Now you're going to monetize on it. You know, obviously keep your circle tight, right? You know, it's going to be a lot of haters. It's going to be a lot of phony people that come around when you're doing well. So I think you're smart enough to figure out who's genuine and who's not. And
well, here's the deal. That's the fun part, right? Like those experiences was like, I was very transparent in my post about, you know, what happened was I didn't make a contract. I agreed to work for someone for free and didn't make no contract. The only time in my life I didn't have an intern contract. Right? Like the one time I didn't have a contract is when I got screwed the biggest. I worked 3 days a week for free for a year and a half to get screwed at the end. Like, oh, that sucks. But what did I learn from that? Oh, no frenzy stuff no more. Like everything is in writing, right? Like everything needs a contract. People are like, what?
I think the person that did that to you, that was being done to them.
Oh, absolutely. If you only knew the amount of women who have DM'd me, it's like a whole little mini, it's a small group. We're in a support group now.
But look at the guy that did that to him. All the years he gave loyalty and one argument turned on him. You know what I'm saying? So
oh no, that's not one that listen, as someone who actually has like a little peek behind the curtain, listen, that was not just one argument.
I got you.
Yeah. That was really not just one argument, but that right there is just the battle of the egos. Listen, a true leader knows when to listen, when to step back. I think we had a conversation about it on that show at one point. Like, Tiff, do you ever think there'll be like another Martin Luther King? And I said, to be honest, in the Black community, the way it is right now, no. Why? Because it took other people equally as talented as MLK to step back to allow him to be the leader, right? We as a community allowed MLK to be our leader. We elected him unofficially to be our leader because other big leaders with big voices stepped back to support him. SNCC, you know, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, like all these groups ultimately came under him. They showed up to his events. They were behind him, you know? So we don't have that in the community right now. Everybody's so worried about being the biggest, being the one, choose me. No, the people will choose you when you're right. If you would step back.
Everybody can be their own boss now. So in their mind.
But again, that wasn't different back then. This is my example. Again, I say this all the time. Nothing has changed the human condition, right? In regards to back then, all those pastors had their own congregations. All those people at all those marches, those were other churches, other pastors following MLK as a pastor. Again, they allowed him to lead until we are able to do that as a community. Like, wait, we're all great leaders, but let's select one and be unified. But again, because there's so much ego involved now, everybody wants to be the best. Don't you know there can be multiple greats?
Yeah, you know what I subscribe to more is.
Hold on one second. Someone is knocking, and when I tell you I don't have guests, I really don't have guests. So now I'm curious. Give me 1 second. I'm like, what? Sorry. Okay. Thanks for waiting. I was like, hey, what in the? There's an actual solicitor in my building. I didn't know they still did that. Okay.
You know what I was saying? I think the more what I subscribe to more is like, let's all get on code. right now we have a lot of people that are radical, a lot of people that are conservative, right? The type of work that I do and the fact that I have a family, I can't be as radical as I would like. So a lot of my approaches as I get older, a radical would probably say that's the conservative long-winded approach, but we're all trying to get to the same things. We keep cutting each other off at the knees because you'll have somebody that's super radical, wants Black empowerment, somebody that's a conservative that wants Black empowerment, but is going about doing it a different way, and they're constantly killing each other, right? And
yes.
It's like they're talking about each other bad. They say one is ignorant, one is stupid, one is a coon, one is a sellout, and it's like, how are we ever going to get? I said, in war, you have your soldiers on the front line, you have your generals planning in the back, you have your politicians soft negotiating, you have everybody doing a role to accomplish one goal. Everybody's not a titan, everybody's not on the front line fighting, everybody's not a politician in the offices. Like, we all need to collectively work together. And that's just so frustrating because there's a lot of people on social media that I like. And I'm like, damn, if they were able to get in a room and talk, they might have more in common than they think they have apart. But they constantly, to get views, to get shine, they kill each other online. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's just like, I hate seeing that.
Well, so that's where I will say, like, there's a way to optimize, right? And so I'm learning about that. Like, optimization is important. Why? Because I truly believe I'm meant to change people's lives, and that I have a message, I have skills and strategies that will make you be able to succeed at whatever it is you're doing. I don't feel like we're in competition. Even if someone came to me like, I want to be a life coach too. Can you coach me? Yep. Why are you not in competition with me? You aren't me. And you know how many millions and billions of people are on this planet? Me coaching you to be your best, then your people are for you and my people are for me. It's not a competition. Why? Because who's for you will naturally gravitate towards you, and who's for me will naturally gravitate towards me, right? So for me, I was like, I don't like clickbait culture just because, to me, it's encouraging even the best person to be slave again to the ego, to the numbers. That's why, like, the particular program I'm in, I like, because she said, if you are here just to be famous, get out. I am here to train influencers who want to make an actual difference, a positive impact in people's lives. When I heard that, I was like, who, what? Where the training at? This is my trainer, right? When you said your purpose on teaching me to grow my social media is rooted in making a positive impact on people's lives. She's like, if you're worried about gaining followers quick, this ain't for you. If you're worried about being famous quick, this ain't for you. If you're not willing to do the work, this ain't for you. Like, it was a whole list of like, this, if this is what you think this ain't for you. Get out now. And I was like, okay, this is for me, right? Because although I want to grow, it's more about the growth will come over time no matter what, because the people who are for me will find me. As long as I optimize and I'm consistent and whatever, like, you'll find me. Don't be obsessed with the number, obsessed with the quality. And my mom has told me that since I was 5, since I knew I was different. Like, hey, they keep telling me I'm too loud. Okay, Tiffany. How many friends you got? I got 3. I'd be like, I got 3, Mom. I got 3 friends, Mom. She'd be like, okay. Do you eat lunch together every day? She was like, yeah.
I was looking for people to help them get that loud voice. And I think, like, that could be your path. Like, as far as, you know, helping people express even the confidence you have with your body, with the things you do sometimes, the dancing you do, all of that takes confidence, because you got to think all of that's being recorded and is sort of in a digital Rolodex that people can get to anytime they want. So the fact that you like, hey, this is me, I'm a healthy woman.
Well, sorry to burst your bubble. You're probably not going to see a lot of pole dance anymore, because I found so much pleasure in just doing it for myself. I realized when I turn on the camera, it's less fun.
Oh, okay.
So, like, it will come when I do post it now, it will be more like choreographed or like styled, like a bomb outfit with, like, you know, an internet already okay freaking song or whatever, because, you know, Instagram and YouTube be cutting down. So but yeah, like, I do feel that's a way to empower people. I like to reduce stigma. Like, I can be a therapist and pole dance. Why? Because it takes a lot of dang strength. Okay. Like, a lot of strength.
You don't use crazy filters, like the waist ain't looking like this one day. It's some women I feel they look literally. I have people I know. They're not famous or anything, but they'll take a picture. They look a size 2. Then they'll do a video because you can't really mess with the video too much. They're like a size 12.
Yeah. To be honest though, like in that front, because I just know how the world works, a lot of it is angling. I promise you, I'm a size 14, 16 right now, but I don't look like that when you see the photos. One, I'm very proportionate. So yes, I just, in person, I look smaller than I weigh and like the clothes that I wear, right? So I do, I'm very curvy and it's all like very together. But yeah, most people would be like, probably think I'm like a size 8 or 10, but I'm like, no, I'm a big girl. Like, right? But when you see the pictures, you'll be like, oh, well, I modeled for like how many years? Mind you, I'm not good at it, but I'm not good at still photography, but I'm getting better at it for the branding, right? Like the images do attract people. Now I'm not thirst trapping because I'm a therapist. Like that's gross, but I'm aware that quality photos and lighting help attract you to the image, the message on the image, and then maybe you'll read the caption, right? Or maybe then you'll read the flyer and then you'll go to the webinar or whatever. So yeah, presentation definitely matters. So I don't knock the people for like editing or anything like that at this point. But then I tell people, then don't be surprised when they meet you in real life and they're like, dang, you're bigger than I thought. Because girl, you've been photoshopped every photo. Like,
that's crazy.
Because I had an old acquaintance who did that, right? Like every photo's hella Photoshop. But then,
yeah, I don't like that though.
then inevitably, when people meet her in person, they're like, oh, she's gorgeous, but she's definitely bigger than I thought she was, right? That would be always the feedback I got. And I'm like, well, she just, photographs well.
Yeah, I don't like that. But let me get out of here because I hear the family coming in.
Right.
On each side is like five and change. So listen, I'm super happy for you.
Thank you.
Blessings. When everything gets up and running, please let me know. And like I said, I'll be one of your subscribers so you can get that consistent revenue stream coming in. And more power to you. I'll be checking in on you soon.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Be well. Bye.
You too. All right. So yeah, I appreciate Pate. He's been following for a very long time. Hi at YouTube. If you're in here, hopefully you could hear us. If not, I apologize. I'm gonna have to edit that. If anybody has any other questions, please let me know. I think I addressed everything that I planned to address. I will be reposting the flyer today. I'm all over the place today. I don't know what the energy is about today, but okay, there's that. But I will be reposting the flyer for my interview with DJ Symphony on Saturday, which I'm very excited about. Again, I don't know how you found me, but I'm excited about that interview. I'm excited to talk about just those things, which is, how did I survive and overcome in LA? Been through some things and I'm still here. How I've always been coaching people, but continue to coach people now. And I am taking new clients. So if you want a consultation to work with me or you want to know my rates, you can DM me. There will be a widget to book me on my website in the next few days, but I'm not going to actually make it open until September. Like I said, I'm rebranding, so I'm going through some things. So I'm not going to take new clients in the next 2 weeks through the widget until I'm ready. I got to make some adjustments to make sure I make room for any new clients. I do currently have 10 clients. So on top of my other thing that I do full time. So there's a lot going on TiffTalk's side of things. But yes, I just wanted to announce the official rebranding. If you haven't noticed that, if you start noticing things disappearing from YouTube, if you start noticing, I'm not really going to delete anything from Instagram or archive a lot. I kind of already did that because I do want you guys to see like what I've been doing up to this point. But yeah, you're going to start seeing more consistent content coming through. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue the TiffTalk reviews like into October. I know I have enough to go through September, but I'm not sure if I'll continue that into October or not. Kind of depends on how you all are responding to the TiffTalk reviews. I like them. I love them. They're putting me in contact with brands that I like, but we'll see. But just know, yes, moving forward, everything is about integrity. If it's not about your mental health or your wellness, your sexual wellness, and your success. Again, if you have a goal and you want to know, how do I achieve this without burning out or losing my mind? I want to teach you that. I want you to know these skills. I want you to have a plan. I want you to know that you can take care of yourself physically, mentally, and sexually And that will help you be a better entrepreneur and a better entertainer and get there to the finish line. And once you get there, you can maintain it, okay, or start the new goal. So with that being said, I'm going to end YouTube. I don't see any new comments on YouTube, so I'm going to end YouTube. It's a long message on YouTube. So there's that.